Are you leaving the door open? It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I'm going to shut it part way in case somebody walks in.
Okay.
All right. EET is going. I'm starting the clock.
Hang on. Hang on. What the hell? I'm not getting a response here. There. Now I'm getting it. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh. Hit the wrong arrows. All right. Glad I took a second. I'm good.
Starting the clock. Well, you watch the clock so you know when to switch pages. And getting ready to capture.
Hello and welcome to Time to Get Fit. I'm John Pearlstone. I'm a trainer and fitness consultant with over 20 years experience in the fitness and conditioning industry. But this show focuses on the last 7 years when I discovered the power of timing for weight loss, fitness, and an amazing relationship with food. And there's never been a better time to talk about a relationship with food than right now during the holiday season. What I've done, let's start again. Let me hit the. I'll do that slide first on the book, and then I'll talk about the holidays.
Okay.
You led me better than I thought it out myself.
And starting the clock.
Thanks.
Capturing in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello and welcome to Time to Get Fit. I'm John Pearlstone. I'm a trainer and fitness consultant with over 20 years experience in the strength and conditioning industry. But this show focuses on the last 7 years when I discovered the power of timing for weight loss, fitness, and an amazing relationship with food. In 2008, I founded the Eating and Exercise Timing Fitness Plan, EAT Fitness Plan, and in 2014, put a book together called It's Not What You Eat, It's When You Eat It, which explains the guidelines that help people to use timing to accomplish their weight loss, fitness, and improve their relationship with food goals. So I can't think of a better topic to cover today than what we're all about to face over the next several weeks, and that is holiday season. Basically, this is the time of year when everybody has a huge issue with what are they going to do about the food issues that they face and that they deal with, and they're looking so forward to eating all these amazing foods, but they don't want to lose their weight or see their weight go up, and they don't want to have a health problem because they eat all the wrong foods. Just issue after issue after issue. It goes on year after year after year. Well, if you look at things a little differently, you're going to find that you can avoid all those issues, and that's what this show's all about. I call it the Eat Timing Diet Holiday Survival Guide. And we're just going to talk about food, but we're going to show you something pretty amazing, at least in my opinion. We're going to show you how to turn time into food choices that let you enjoy your holidays like never before. So let's jump in and let's talk about how this all works. First of all, it's important to understand something. Most diets want to tell you what you can and can't eat. You got to stop eating this to lose weight. You got to stop eating this or you're going to have heart problems. EAT has no food restrictions whatsoever. Instead, EAT is a situational diet. And as you can see, the definition is you will succeed on EAT by managing the most challenging situations. So if we take a look at the food I brought today, just as an example, you're not seeing broccoli and vegetables and a nice roast turkey on here. We all know that's coming. And we all know that if we eat those sorts of lean foods, that we could have weight loss and we could have fitness, or so it seems. The question is, since we all know that, why isn't it happening? The foods I brought today to talk about are the ones that create challenges for us, the ones we think we can't control, the ones we think that are unhealthy, things like chips, things like soda, things like cookies. Oh, I don't know, maybe something like a beautiful pecan pie. All these foods that people literally say they should never touch 90% of the year now become things they can't keep away from during the holiday season, and they have this tremendous conflict on should they eat it, should they not. It doesn't just cover the holidays. Let's be clear. Situational diets need to be there for you in all kinds of situations. We're not going to dwell on it today, but I do want to make the point, and that is holidays, vacations, and restaurants. The entire world, at least our culture, focuses on enjoying our events with food. Think about it. You know, when you're in the holidays, what do you think of? Sure, there's some football on TV and you're seeing your family and friends. Could you imagine if there were just big bowls of broccoli all around the room? It wouldn't be the holidays. And that's the real world. And I put myself in the position as a real world fitness coach. I want to help you understand how to manage these things and still see your weight loss and fitness goals, plus feel great about the food you eat, whatever they may choose to be. So, without further ado, let's dig in and see how you're going to survive the holidays this year using timing. At least you'll see how I've done it for the last 7 years, and you can decide for yourself if it might make sense. First of all, let's be clear. The statistics are overwhelming that as a group, we gain weight during the holidays. And it could account for most of the obesity crisis, because most of us gain a certain amount of weight, as this graph proves, that we gain a certain amount of weight, this is a little over a pound, and during the course of the rest of the year, we gain almost as much. So do you see what I'm saying? The point is we gain a certain amount of weight over the holidays, but we don't lose it all back during the rest of the year. So every year it just keeps adding. And we keep facing this holiday time of year, and we keep doing the same things over and over. So maybe a little different approach could do you well. So how about this? What if we, instead of focusing on specific foods yet, I want to show you how timing will take you there. What if you simply said to yourself, we've got a holiday season facing us, which most people would define, at least in the United States, as running from Thanksgiving through New Year's. Okay, whatever that period is, 6, 7 weeks, something like that. And we want to accomplish nothing more during this period than breaking even on our weight. So, this is a very important point. We are no longer in the world of time, and this is called calendar time. We're looking at a calendar, and we're selecting a period of time and a weight goal. And over this period of time, we want nothing more than to weigh whatever we weighed the week before Thanksgiving. That's all we're trying to accomplish. So what foods should you eat? How much should you exercise? Are there things you should avoid? It doesn't matter in the world of timing just yet. We start with a calendar timing goal that says, hey, if I can make it through the holiday season weighing what I weigh right now before it starts, that's pretty successful. And I've done that by staying on a program, which will be the first time most people in their lives will have stayed on a diet through the holidays. So, very important to understand calendar timing. We're just looking at it as a season now, 2-3 months. We're saying let's just break even as we get into the new year. We're going to get more specific now. Okay. We've established our calendar goal. Now, what if we said, okay, we need to break that down so we can have a little more decision-making ability on what to do each day and each week? Why don't we look at weekly timing? How should we handle each week to accomplish this goal? And EET has put together a pretty simple system to help you understand how to do it. So if we take a look at the calendar itself, you're going to see on November, all right, that the week before Thanksgiving starts, if you know all this food's coming that you saw on the table, if you know all the turkey and the stuffing and the beautiful decadent foods are coming on Thursday, it's not all that hard to choose weight loss oriented meals Monday, Tuesday, and perhaps even Wednesday. So I put weight loss for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I went back one additional day. That's red. Okay? Then you look at the day before Thanksgiving on the 26th, and you say, well, we're going to be eating some sort of fun dinner that night. There's going to be a lot of people who are cooking and family shows up. So we don't go all out and eat till we're bloated, but we do enjoy some food that we really enjoy and we look forward to. So we call that a balanced day, where maybe you're eating a few meals that aren't so decadent, and then at dinner, if that's the meal that's going to be very, lots of food options like the pies and the cakes and all that, enjoy them. Okay, that's a balanced day. And then on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we don't even try to fight the reality of the food that's facing us. We are available to eat the food we want to eat. Now, there are strategies we're going to cover here during the rest of this show that will help you understand what choices you might make. But I'm simply saying you are going to eat what you love in the amount you love on this day, but you didn't give up the whole season. You didn't simply say, well, it's the holidays, I'm done till after this is over. You had a great week. You probably were able to lose weight the first 3 days, and then you phased into eating a lot more, and you had a great Thanksgiving Day, and maybe take it back to balanced for the weekend. Take it back to yellow. So red, green, and yellow, all right? You can carry this exact concept through the rest of the holiday season, always remembering that our goal is nothing more than to break even. To set a goal to lose weight during the holiday season is to set a goal to fail. Simply make it easy on yourself that you're going to gain some weight during periods, you're going to lose some weight during periods because you're going to be managing this. And you just want to walk away after New Year's at break even. And you'll find you have a completely new attitude towards food and towards dieting because you've been able to make it through a holiday season without that guilt, without that denial, giving up on your plan. So looking at December quickly, and then we're going to move on. You can see most of December, no one thinks this way, but most of December can be oriented towards weight loss. The way I've drawn this up, during the weeks, if you're still working, you're not traveling, you can shoot to lose weight during the week, okay? On the weekends, use balance days. Have a fun meal or two during the day, and then the other meal kind of pull back. Maybe mix in a little exercise to keep it perfectly balanced. We'll talk about that. But you could go most of the month and manage your weight very aggressively if you wanted to before the actual big eating begins. Now, I'm very aware that many people face holiday parties and events, and then family shows up early. You can move these colors around. You're not married to a plan. So you simply change a red day to a yellow day, have a balanced day instead of a weight loss day, and if you get a chance to make that one up, great. But at least you're managing a plan. You're working on your eating through timing. You're defining the day, you're defining the meals, and you're enjoying it because you know the amazing food's coming without restriction, but you're also getting the weight loss and fitness that most people are so desperately seeking. So that's how to use timing. Same story into January. The only point I'll make about January is you would basically be done with your holiday season plan, the day or two after the weekend. You're probably going to enjoy foods at a higher level than normal through the weekend, and then like everybody else has a New Year's resolution and starts a diet right after New Year's. By the 6th or 7th, you're going to get on the scale, so Tuesday or Wednesday, and if you simply weigh what you weighed before Thanksgiving, you should consider yourself incredibly successful because you've used a plan. You've managed your timing. You've made food decisions based on the time of week and the time of year. And when that's over, you're still on your diet. You're not starting any resolution at all. You've eaten amazing food the entire time. And you're simply going to be able to continue that process. And while everybody goes on their deprivation diets, you're going to be on a roll. And you're going to see a great opportunity to lose a lot of weight during the first part of the year because you didn't force it or you didn't give up on it. You didn't go either way. You stayed right in the middle, managed your weight, managed your fitness, and managed an amazing relationship with food all during the holidays. It'll change your life. But we're not done. We're not done. You could take that plan and you could use that effective today, and you'd do better than if you just give up on your diet. That's for sure. I would also argue you'd do better than feeling guilty and miserable. That's for sure. But what we can do is we can break it down further. Okay? We can go to daily timing. So let's take a look, and I don't know when you'll be watching the show, but it might be after Thanksgiving. You can apply this to any period of time. It's just a good example with Thanksgiving. So if we take a look at daily timing, during Thanksgiving week, all you're looking at is a weekly schedule here, and you're going to eat multiple meals every day. Almost all of us do. And you're simply going to define those meals by the level of carbs in those meals. That's simple. You notice I've been talking about calendar, monthly, weekly. I have not said a word about food choices yet. Here we're finally starting to see how food comes into the decision-making process through time. We're basically going to say, look, when I wake up in the morning on Wednesday, which is the day before Thanksgiving, I'm going to choose fat burning. And in the EAT timing diet, fat burning usually means avoiding carbs altogether, perhaps having some green tea or some protein. Now, we then have another meal before the family shows up for dinner Wednesday night. And that meal will keep low carb also. So that way we can maintain our fat burning status. When dinner shows up on Wednesday night, we can then go moderate carb like we talked about. That's what I put the yellow sign for. Remember, red, green, yellow. We can go moderate carb and go ahead and splurge and indulge a little bit, but we don't have to go all out because we know the next day we're going to be eating and eating and eating, and we might as well enjoy it and manage our weight at the same time. So that's Wednesday. Thursday, we wake up, nobody serves a meal the minute you wake up. Why not take advantage of a fat burning phase? Some protein, some tea, coffee, and then the day moves on. You can eat to your heart's content using a good strategy. There's no reason to binge. The food's always going to be there. There's a lot of great concepts that you'll be able to learn through the EAT timing diet. But there's your green light to eat high carbs. Don't worry about fat burning. You did plenty of it. You're all good. And then you look at the late night. Maybe you want a snack. Lots of people do that. They take the leftovers, they have a snack. But you don't have to have another equivalent high carb meal. Maybe go moderate carb. Turkey sandwich. I don't know. Let's look at our food plate here and see what we might do. We might go turkey sandwich and a slice of pie. Instead of turkey sandwich, sweet potatoes, all the other sides that have high carbs, chips on the side. That's our Thanksgiving meal. But at night we've already enjoyed that. Why not phase it down? Because we can wake up Friday morning and we can go right back to a high carb meal. There's no limits to how much you can move these timing options around. It's your choice every single day. You don't have to go on or off this plane. You simply decide what meal makes the most sense. So I went high carb for breakfast on Friday. I went low carb for lunch. And for dinner, I want to go high carb again where it's still our family's still around. Beautiful. But I didn't just eat all day randomly. That's not being on any plan at all. And that tends to create guilt. You're not enjoying your food. And guess what? You're not losing any weight for the season. So that's what we're trying to get you to. So that's daily timing. Let's wrap this up. Again, we're talking about timing with metabolic timing. Now, we've talked about just using a calendar and then a weekly planner and then a daily planner. You haven't had to know a thing about nutrition as long as you know what a carb is, you could run that plan. But it goes a little further, and that is metabolic timing, which we've talked about in other shows. Feel free to go watch those on our website. Metabolic timing tells you what the best opportunities are for your metabolism to burn fat. We've already talked about fat burning, but all I've done here is where it's convenient, where you are comfortable, where it fits your lifestyle. You could phase in some exercise and help your metabolism deal with those high carb meals you're going to eat. So I'm having some exercise before my Wednesday night dinner. I'm going to do some exercise before the family shows up on Thursday. And then Friday, I ate a huge meal. I'm not going to feel like doing some sort of serious exercise at any level. So I'm simply going to go take a walk after my breakfast, burn off some of those carbs, and give my body a chance to maybe burn a little fat before the big dinner comes on Friday night. And that is metabolic timing. It just takes daily timing and helps you split it up in ways to eat your carbs to maximize your metabolism and maximize fat burning. It's really nothing more complicated than that. But it takes a little practice and a little learning. So if you remember, I like to show this as often as I can. This is the metabolic timing cycle. And there are two optimal windows, these green wedges, two optimal windows to do exercise. It's all flexible. You do exercise when you feel like it. It may be perfect for your metabolism. It may not. But you can fit it in, and ideally before your highest carb meal is the best time to do exercise. Activities, ideally after exercise. So let's go through this now. We've covered a lot of timing concepts, but you're wondering, how am I going to manage making food decisions? It's not as complicated as you might think. It simply takes you understanding what nutrients are in the foods you're choosing to eat. So I just put a quick example. The grocery store, the restaurants, the farms, there's so many food options out there, folks. You need to understand the foods you love and learn what's in them. So let's take a look at this, just random example. You may hate these foods, you may love them, but they'll give you the idea. A low-carb meal should not mean you're starving by any stretch of the imagination. A low-carb meal would have, in this case, a low-fat sausage on a wrap, like a high-fiber wrap with a bunch of vegetables, and perhaps even a side of some strawberries and maybe some vegetables along with it, on the side. Some steamed broccoli or green beans, I like that, with Parmesan cheese on it, something like that. That's a low-carb meal. And if you start to learn what foods have low carbs in them, you can build big meals. We're not trying to restrict how much you eat. We're trying to manage the carbs you have in your meals. There are issues regarding the fat content in your meals. Let's start with carbs. We get through carbs, you master that. Believe me, fat management's a lot easier once you understand how to manage carbs. Let's move to moderate carb. A lot of people think, well, I'm having a latte, so okay, this isn't too decadent. I'm not eating a candy bar. I'm not having ice cream. Guess what? It has the same amount of carbs as a good-sized scoop ice cream or even a cup ice cream. It has the same amount of carbs as other sorts of treats you might eat, whether it be candy or even side dishes like rice or quinoa or things like that. You simply don't assume anything. You want to know the nutritional value of the food you're eating, and carbs is our starting point. So we just need to know how many carbs. This medium-sized caramel macchiato, this from Starbucks, has about 40 carbs in it. So now you can look at every food on the planet and decide which one you like. Let's pan to the food for a second. 40 carbs would be something on the order of, I don't know, take a look. It'd be on the order of 6 of these chocolate balls. Okay, so 6 of these chocolate balls would be about the same thing as one of these caramel macchiatos. I think more people would feel comfortable of drinking the caramel macchiato. On the EAT Fitness plan, you choose the one you enjoy more because we're managing carbs. It's important to understand. Okay, finally, high carb. High carb, you're looking at foods that many people are calling very healthy. And I'm not going to argue if they're healthy or not. We look at carbs. So sweet potatoes are considered remarkably healthy from a lot of levels, but yet are insanely high in carbohydrates. Then people take it to another level and cook them with butter, with high fat, and then they mix them with brown sugar for these delicious, casseroles, and they've just put it, and who knows the portion size, and next thing you know, they've had 100 carbs, and they've decided they've eaten something very healthy because at least it had sweet potatoes. 100 carbs takes a long time to process through your system, and that's what's going to prevent you from getting back to fat burning. So we just want to focus on carbs, and I've made that abundantly clear in the next slide, and that is, on the EAT timing diet, a carb is a carb. So I know there's a lot of talk about quinoa and brown rice and grains. Those are all wonderful, and they do offer certain health benefits. But when you are managing carbs, a carb is a carb. So if I eat this bread, okay, the sourdough bread, in my world, that has no difference between that and sweet potatoes or a candy bar or rice. I am looking at carbs and managing my timing of those carbs, which hopefully you see what that does for you. It lets you choose the foods you love, and you simply learn how to manage the nutrients you need while you're eating the foods you love. And suddenly, you can go 6 or 7 years and lose more weight than you've ever thought possible, as I have, by simply managing your carbs and getting away from defining foods as healthy or unhealthy. You're welcome to choose your choices, but managing carbs will allow you to burn fat. And I think that's what most people are after when they're talking about weight loss. It also brings plenty of health benefits, and that's a different discussion for a different day. Let's take a look at the final point on this thing. When I say a carb is a carb, I'm shopping today for the pecan pie that I wanted for my prop. And I noticed they have a sugar-free pie on the shelf. And I'm looking at that, and I'm like, that's interesting. Let's see what the carb content is, which is exactly how I view things. And I take a look at the carbs in this particular pie, and I see 46 carbs for 1/6 of this pie, which is not very big. It's a slice you'd probably choose. You might even go a little bigger. Okay? 46 carbs is insanely high, and you're eating garbage in the sense that it doesn't taste nearly as good as the real deal. There's a lot of questions about, the effects of alcohol, carbs, and all these artificial sweeteners they use, and they still couldn't get the carbs out. And yet people will choose that because it has no sugar in it. And they've been told sugar is horrible and a poison, and they'll become unhealthy if they eat it. Yet eating the real deal has no more carbs than the 46 you're seeing here, and might satisfy you in a way that suddenly you're enjoying your diet. You chose that as part of your high carb meal. You ate it, you enjoyed it, no guilt, no shame, no regret. You went back to low carb the next morning, easy as pie, haha. And the bottom line is you ate the food you loved instead of the food you thought you should eat to be healthy. And a lot of times they're not offering you any benefits at all. Look at the labels, manage your carbs. I'll say it again, a carb is a carb. Think that way, think about timing, see if your life doesn't change a little bit versus all these judgments and all these decisions you're making about what's nutritious and what's not while you're not getting to your goals. It can have that kind of impact on you. So let's wrap up by showing the exercise timing. And it's a simple formula as you get started. And it's simply saying that metabolically, You're better off doing your exercise if it's vigorous, if it has some sort of intensity to it. You're better off doing that before you'd eat a high-carb meal. It prepares your body. We talked about it in other episodes. It prepares your body for the carbs you're about to eat. On the other hand, let's say I had a slice of this pie right now and it's got 50 carbs in it and I didn't exercise. Well, those carbs are going to be swimming around in my bloodstream in about a half hour, and I can use them for energy. Every piece of food on this table, folks, every piece of food is energy. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because the bottom line is all these carbs break down to blood sugar in your bloodstream. And if you use them, they can't do you harm. It's that simple. At least that's the EAT philosophy, and it's been working awfully well. So if you have them swimming around in your bloodstream and you go and take a walk, you don't need to do anything high intensity. You just need to move your body. You'll burn off a good number of those carbs. Bring your blood sugar down. Obviously, it's a nice benefit for diabetics and things of that nature. And you can use activity. You can clean the house. You can sort out a closet. It doesn't need to be painful exercise for you to get the advantage of carb management. So keep that in mind. So, bottom line is, what have we done? We've taken time. We've taken calendar. We've taken weekly. We've taken daily. We've peppered in some metabolic thoughts. And then by using that approach, we can make amazing decisions on what we're going to eat at every meal and never feel restricted because you're choosing what you're going to eat. The only guideline would be, is it high in carbs, moderate in carbs, or low in carbs? And if you really need the high carbs, fine, move your high carb meal to that meal, go low carb later. Mix, match, enjoy it. Figure out a way to make it work for you. But guess what? None of it's going to work if you put a bunch of rules and restrictions on yourself. So what we always want you to remember is the fail-safe plan. And this is the way to get through the holidays and truly survive it in ways you never thought possible. And that is simply have a comfortable plan. Know what you want to do and don't put it together based on what you think you should do or what experts are telling you have to do. Do what you want to do. Because if you drew it up on paper right now, what do I want to eat on Thanksgiving? There's no doubt it would be decadent. There's no doubt it would have a lot of foods you love in it in big portions. But it won't be nearly what you'll end up eating if you go into denial and act like you're not on your diet that day. So that in itself is a form of a diet. Have a comfortable plan. Be nice to yourself. Take it easy on yourself. Work on this carb management thing, but don't make it a rule and a war. Just understand it and do the best you can, and you're going to find somehow weight loss and fitness isn't as hard as you thought it was. Because right now, people are making it impossible. So, to put it in final perspective, why not just use this as your starting point? I went through a lot of colors and charts, and people tend to want to try to understand everything about the EAT timing diet the first day. And I'm always using that comparison. If I handed you a guitar and you love the idea of learning to play guitar, would you understand how to play it the first day as an expert? Even if you understood what I was telling you to do, how to use your fingers and how to pluck the keys, could you do it? EAT is a new approach that takes practice. Just like anything else you're learning, another skill. And you're getting away from so many of the things that you thought you had to do. So if you simply start out by saying, hey, you know what? This holiday season, I'm going to try to break even. That's all I'm going to do. Not going to put too much pressure on myself. I don't even understand half the stuff this guy just said, but I like that. I'm going to get on the scale today, I'm going to get on the scale after the holidays, and I'm going to see if I can manage that through some form in the middle of the holidays to just stay where I am now and actually live life on a diet through the holiday season without ever feeling the need to yo-yo once. You do that, and it won't matter if you understand timing at all. Your life will never be the same. I can speak from 7 years of doing it. It's always a pleasure to know the plan is there to protect me instead of restrict me. So I hope that makes some sense to you. Again, we just want to remind people that they really do need to get with their doctors before they try anything. So take the timing in mind and go talk to your physician or your health professionals and see what makes sense for you. And do check out our website, easytimingdiet.com, where you'll find our prior shows, other free information, and other good concepts about timing. And I do want to take a second and thank the Community Media Center of Marin for their facilities, as well as my excellent staff of folks who helped me put this show together, Vita Flores, Dr. Cyrus Thomas, and Victoria Van Arist. Much appreciated for the help. And as always, I am going to look very forward to seeing you next time. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope you enjoy amazing food with zero guilt. and work on your timing because it can take you where you want to go. We'll see you next time.